Hi, my name is Danny Fenton and I'm an aeromodeller and an engineer. Join me on a fascinating journey where I'll show you some of the techniques used in scale aeromodelling. I've been working on making some seats out of blue foam, and I'm struggling to figure out how I can seal them and get a good finish because they're still a little bit fluffy, and paint on top of that will just make it worse and look even more fluffy. So I want to try and find a way of sealing it and putting a finish on it without adding too much weight, obviously, and I don't want to lose the detail of the beading around the edge. So one of my friends has suggested using a water-based polyurethane and tissue paper, normal model aeroplane tissue paper. So what I'm going to do is try that using some, this is Ronseal interior varnish, diamond hard, supposedly water-based. So I'm going to give that a go. Now I did have a thought that I would just try this on its own without actually the tissue, but let's try the tissue as well. This part here is sectioned under the pilot, so it's not really too problematic if I was going to say screw it up, but let's hope we don't. I have no idea how to do this. So let's just take a small section and see if we can paste the thing down for a start, because I've never tried using polyurethane with tissue. Okay, now I usually put tissue down wet, so let's try and see if we can make the tissue go down over that lump and follow the bead. It's going to be the hard bit, I think. Now the beauty of this these seat covers are that if I actually get some more wrinkles in it, it actually won't matter, because the more wrinkles the better. But what I don't want is to lose the definition of the wrinkles I've already got. So we've got to be a little bit careful. I hope you can see what's going on here, but it's actually, this is just cheap model airplane tissue. It's actually going on quite well, surprisingly well. So we might be onto a winner here. And there's a little bit more wrinkles appearing, which is also not a bad thing. Now we've got a bit of an air bubble there, so I think I've got to tease it into place. Now I'm not sure what's going to happen at the front here. That's another area that I'm a little bit concerned about. Let's just go with it and just let the wrinkles flow, because that might be the trick. But I do want to try and retain that rather nice beading that I put on there, which, if you recall, was done with crochet thread and contact adhesive. We've got something trapped in there. This time I'm applying the tissue dry rather than wet. Normally if I tissue a model and I'm using dope, I put it on wet. But the dope dries really quickly, so it's not really an issue. So for this, I'm just trying to apply the tissue using the water-based polyurethane varnish dry. And it's actually shaping quite well. I don't think the tissue is limp enough when it gets wet, which is forming quite nicely. And there's a few little wrinkles that look like they might really add to the effect. the overhang's too big, it won't go around the corners. Here's tissue paper after all. Just try and lay it down around the edge. As you can see, it is going. Amazingly, it is. I want to lose the bead though. It's important I don't lose the bead. I mean, that was the whole, well, it's the whole reason, but it's a big reason for what we're doing here. But what is interesting is we're getting some nice wrinkles. Try and get rid of that one, that's just a bit too big. There we go. What we're trying to do is try and smooth out the surface of the foam. We just have to see how well that works. I did a bit earlier on this side, let's just make sure that's stippled into the bead, because we don't want to lose the bead definition. You recall the bead is made from crochet thread, which is much heavier than cotton, but not as heavy as string. I'm just going to try and pull that in a bit, because that area there is just a bit too... Oh, look at that. That's really nice. So we've got a lot more tiny little wrinkles in there. That might work really well. So all I can do is leave that till the morning. On the basis it's 9:45 now. That'll be nice and dry by the morning, and we'll see how it goes from there.